Hello, everybody. Welcome to LT Outdoors Sunday Night Live. I'm going to share this real quick here on Facebook if it lets me, and then we'll get to chat in a bit. There we go. Hey, Don, how you doing, buddy? Hey there, Ian. Hey, Matt. Hey there, Bill. I hope you guys are all having a good week. It's definitely been a crazy week for me. What's up, Ben? How you doing, buddy? Hey there, Neil. Hey, Mike. What's going on, dude? Hey there, Brad. Oh, geez. Just gotta had to come up here with an antler shed in her mouth. What a turd. You're all wrapped up on my rod that I had sitting here ready. You like the Taylor Swift walleye? Oh man, I would too, Brad. Quit listening to her. Hey there, sis. How you doing? Hey, Joe. Hey there, Brad. Thank you, buddy. If you haven't already, guys, hit that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Gemma's up here being a little turd. She had to come up and get herself in the spotlight for a bit. Oh, hey there, Russell. How you doing, buddy? I did do some more ice fishing this week, just so you guys know. The past week I've been out. It's definitely not safe anymore, though. It's gotten to the point, and I'll talk a lot about that. It's gotten to the point of where I don't think anybody should be out messing around now, because it's really, really getting dangerous. But hey, Brett, how you doing, buddy? Good. Glad you're doing good, Don. Yeah, it's been a heck of a week, though, guys. Hey there, Rick. Good. Glad you're doing good, Brett. Yeah, I've got some videos coming out, and I want to say first though, I appreciate everybody that gets on tonight. I know it's the big night of the Super Bowl and all that, and it's Taylor Swift Super Bowl, I guess. So, with it being said, I do appreciate anybody that hops on tonight. There will not be any auctions tonight. I don't have anything going on, but I do have. I'm cleaning a really nice big coyote skull right now, so next week I will have a coyote skull that I'll be auctioning. So. At least you got that to look forward to. Yeah. Oh, Rick says, "Hey, Jammers." She looked back with that bone in her face. I did, Ian. I did. Yep. I'll probably have that on in a video because I have the video of it, and I do want to explain some stuff too on there. And if you're one of the people that want to lash out at me for having, it's funny how many. I mean, there wasn't very many, but for the people that wanted to say stuff about me, posting pictures and things like that of the guy that I saved out of the ice, I just want you to say you're an idiot. Plain and simple, you're an idiot if you call me out on that. The GoPro was actually on. I was filming as I was setting up tip ups. I was trying to, for once, I thought I'd explain how I do my tip ups, and I was showing that. Rick was standing right next to me, and oh, I knew you were joking, Nikki. Yep. Um, I was setting up my tip ups. Rick was standing there, and he goes, "Oh, that guy just fell through the ice." I turn around, and yeah, this fella fell through the ice about, I don't know, 80 yards from us. So I just kind of went into, crazy mode. I went running at him and helped him get out of the ice. So, yep, I probably will have that video coming on too. I'm happy that I could help him. It could have definitely been a lot worse, but thanks, Adam. I'd rather just sit and watch Taylor, but that's just me. Re-greasing tip up night. About that too. Things aren't looking good. I'm thinking we're about done, man. How you doing, Don? What's up, brother? Oh, I know, Matt. I know. Well, the best part is when people call me out for things like that and try to look like big scary men behind their keyboard, it's just as easy for me to hit block. But people like that won't say stuff to my face. It's just how life is anymore. But hey, Brian. You didn't miss much, man. I just yeah, I was just talking about I did pull a guy out of the ice yesterday, and that's where I wanted to talk about how bad the ice is. Really don't go out and risk it. Me and Rick did yesterday. We were out fishing. So was Jen and Mark McKinley. Well, Jen wasn't. Mark McKinley was out, and we were fishing, but the ice is definitely not stable. Gemma, you gotta stay down, kid. It's complete right now. The ice is completely um, just mush. It's basically just frozen slush. It's to that point of where I mean, you can't trust whether you're going to be walking and all of a sudden just go right through the slush. So you got to be careful, guys. It's something that you can't tell if it's good or not. You really can't. So thanks, Paul. Oh, man, I'd be the one proposing to Taylor at the halftime show if I was, but thank you, Brian. Thank you. Thanks, Brad. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, there was just a few, man, and like I said, it just makes it easy to pick out the idiots is all. So I can just, block, boom, shows that you're not really my friend, and yeah, easy to move on from that. But yeah, it could have been worse. There was a guy that drowned last week, too, guys, up here. So the ice isn't, and his situation was a lot worse. He fell through. He actually didn't drown. He fell through and was found clinging to his hole. So he basically froze to death. In my mind, that is probably the worst way to die. I can't imagine a worse way. Things that would go through your mind while you were in that situation. I just can't imagine. That would be there's nothing worse, man. There really isn't. I tried to think about it. I can't even put myself in that situation. But I don't want to hear that any of you guys that. So please just, you know, if you're gonna go on the ice, be as careful as you freaking can. But otherwise, don't go. That's my 2 cents. I understand you probably got some decent ice up in the UP still, at least better than what we got. Like I said, ours is honeycombed to the point when it gets honeycombed and turns a weird color, it turns to slush. If you can scrape at it with your boot and get slush to come off, it's honeycombed. And at that point, it's nothing more than a frozen slushy, and it could easily just squish through. You're not going to hear it crack. You're not going to hear it go. There's no warning. The slush just gives way, and at that point, you just fall in. It's happened to me before. I've never. It's easy to get away when you hear it cracking. Obviously, then you can back away. But at this point, when it's honeycombed, there is no warning. You're just walking along, and all of a sudden, boom, you go through. There's nothing to warn you about. So, yep, just be careful, guys. Oh, you're funny, Nikki. Uh, yeah, that's true. That's true because in the film, I mean, like I said, I didn't even know I was filming. That's 100% honest. I was filming when I put the tip up. All I did was go running towards the guy to help him out of the ice. Didn't know till I walked away from him that it was filming. At that point, I'm like, well, cool. At least I got something on camera. But I can show, I didn't let the guy stand up right away. I drug him across the ice first because as I pulled him onto the ice, it started collapsing around me. So it was just that it was ready to go. I mean, if he would have stood up or tried to stand on that ice, we both would have went down. I'm shocked that we didn't go down to begin with, but I don't think so, Brett. I don't think so. I don't think there's any hope because right now it only looks like we've got 2, maybe 3 days below zero, and then we're back up into the low to mid 30s. I mean, it's not enough to build ice. Hey there, Lloyd. How you doing, buddy? Nice, very nice. Oh, on open water. Okay, I was just about to ask that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't hear about the dog. I didn't hear about the dog. See, that's another thing too. I have such a soft spot for dogs. I'd be in a heartbeat for them. 11 inches of good ice up there. So it's not. It ain't honeycombed ice, Ryan. It's solid. Okay. Yeah, beaver places are definitely that's something too that I should mention. If there are beavers living on the body of water that you are on, especially if it's a beaver pond, you got to watch because there's going to be a lot of trapped air bubbles underneath that are like scratching their way through. Beavers will also bust ice through while it's still thin and make breather holes. And when that barely freezes over and get a little snow on it, you don't know where it's at. So you could easily walk along, and trust me, if you hit a beaver breather hole, you're going through. It's not like a little, it ain't like a little ice hole. It's big enough where you're gonna go through. So be careful. Be careful. Yeah, yep. I mean, what sucks though, Bill, like my best ice fishing days are usually when the water is running through the holes. But I've seen, I mean, we've had days like that up here where it gets, I mean, crazy warm, but we still got a foot or more of ice. At that point, it's pretty cool because then the fish, they seem to feed heavily when the water, it seems like everything gets pushed through the holes. And, but yeah. Oh, yeah, way different. Yep, way different, John. Yeah, yep, yep. It's just this was a bad year for ice in general. I've been saying it since the get-go. So people that are out there pushing it, you just have to remember, man, you are taking a risk and you're taking a risk for anybody else that's got to come save you. So I know what I'm doing when I'm out, but there's a lot of people that just don't. So hey Jim, I'm glad too, man. Yep, turned out good, man. Deer scouting it is, yeah. I mean, right now that's another good thing, guys, with the snow being gone. I don't know what you got in the UP going on, buddy, but down here, most of our snow is gone. I mean, it's just the high stuff now that's left, and there ain't much of that. This is the best time of year to get out there and find your antler sheds. So thanks for bringing that up, Brett. If you're looking for something fun to do, I got that turd sitting next to me wiggling her tail. If you're looking for something fun to do and to break that ice fishing itch, get out and look for sheds. It's a good time to take the family out, just wander the woods, look for places where deer follow deer trails, absolutely, but look where they have to jump over logs and stuff. Because anywhere that a deer has to kind of bounce and jar itself, it can knock loose them antlers. Now to give it a good knock. But hey there, Steve, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Lewis, how you doing? I I don't think so, Ben, because we don't have, I'm not seeing, at least up here, we're not having any teens at all. They've gotten rid of that. We're going to have some 20s in the nights, which that's not going to be enough. I mean, you need single digits and teens to really build ice. And for what we got right now, a lot of the lakes are opening up. There's a lot of open water, and it takes a lot to fix that. If we didn't lose that shore ice, if it would have still been there, it wouldn't take much to fix that. But once you start losing all that shore ice, it takes all that extra work to build that back up. So I don't know. It's going to take a lot more than those 3 days of cold nights. I just don't see it happening now. I wish I could, but I don't. Yeah, I can change real quick. Yep, changes really quick. I mean, it's me and Rick's been fishing all week, and it's just over the past few days, it's changed fast. So, oh yeah. Hey Joe. Yep, she's ready. Ain't she turd? She's laying down there with one right now, but yeah, she's I'm hoping she can, I mean, she loves eating sheds and grabbing them and playing with them. I'm sure she would grab one in the woods, so not all honeycombed. See, I've been, my friend April lives up there and she's been fishing a lot, and her ice looked pretty good too, so who knows, maybe I got to make a trip. 0-0 in the first quarter. Yeah, we really don't. I don't care to get any more snow, but I sure would like to get ice. I just don't. I don't know. Don't see it coming. Hey, Scott. Oh, that's a shame. It's cool that you found it, but yeah, that's another thing too. Thanks for that, Scott. If you're looking for things to do, I mentioned shed hunting, but also our squirrel season here in Michigan's still going. So grab your gun. If you're gonna go wander the woods, heck, you might as well make a double out of it. Go squirrel hunting and shed hunting. You know, kill two birds with one stone. So hey there, Jim. How you doing, buddy? Night, Joe. Not tonight. I mentioned in my beetles, I'm cleaning up a big coyote skull, so I've got a coyote pelt in the freezer. So once I decide what I'm going to do with that, I might auction that off. But ah, yeah, um, I bet you it's to be honest, Brett, in Hale, I bet you it's a lot of open water. I really do, because you're south of me in Hale. I hate to say it, but I bet there's a lot of open water in Hale. Venetton right now, you got to go through probably 100 yards to get to the ice. I mean, there is a lot of water on places. The small game needs that calcium. Yeah, yep, small game. They don't need it though. They don't really need it at all. They can get it from other stuff. I mean, bones. Think of that. There's a million bones out there. They don't need the antlers. I mean, yeah, like mice and that'll chew up those antlers, but yeah, yeah, don't mess with it, Mike. It's definitely not worth it, buddy. I'll try to figure something out, Joe. I'll try to figure something out. Oh, wow. There you go. That's cool, Brad. Heck yeah, buddy. I know Joe found a good one the other day. He sent me, I'm guessing that was your wife that you were with, but found just a big old beautiful rack, especially for on state land. It's pretty awesome what you can find out there. So that's cool. Yeah. I do want to talk about something though, guys. Tomorrow, me and Rick are actually going out to do some walleye fishing. That's why I posted that into the thing here. I've got some walleye baits that I want to show you off tonight that I'm going to be trying. But yeah, we're gonna be hitting the river down in Bay City tomorrow to see if we can get into pile up some walleye. So it should be a good time. Tomorrow's gonna be a nice day. So uh, nah, I don't know, Joe. I mean, they normally they're dropped by February. I mean, they're dropped in January. I do get that some of them still do, and it's only because of the season we're having right now. This has been such a mild winter that yes, there have been bucks seen still with their antlers, but there shouldn't be. There really shouldn't by now by any means. I've been seeing a lot of deer out, and I haven't seen a single one with antlers. So there should be lots of sheds out and about. Yeah, the walleye video, I'm excited to get back at it because to be honest, guys, the weather hasn't cooperated for the past. I went back and checked my videos. It's been like 3 years since I had a really good Saginaw River walleye video. And that's because when those dams burst down there off of those couple lakes, it really messed things up. The river it just kind of screwed things up for a couple years with the walleyes. Well, now we're getting better years. This year is a lot like it was 3 years ago. I have a good feeling that we're just going to slam them and have some great pictures and stuff. So I'm going to try to make the best out of it, bringing 2 cameras down. I'm going to try to make it the best content I can. I do got some new stuff to talk about tonight too that we're going to try for walleye. One of new Freedom baits that they've come out with, and then some of their older stuff that they came out with last year that I'm also going to be trying. But um, yeah, that's the boss. Well, did she probably found the buckhead, didn't she? Uh, yeah, yeah, the river is loaded, Joe. Yep. And the one way Rick was saying earlier that he hopes we catch fish, but I'm going to say this right now. We were there just a couple weeks ago for ice fishing, right? If you can call it that. There wasn't much ice. But you got to think of it this way. All those fish that were there for ice fishing are still there times a whole lot more because as winter progresses, no matter what, more and more and more and more fish every single day, more move in as the closer you get towards March and April, the more walleye move into the systems. I really wouldn't doubt if the Asable River's good right now too. I might plan a trip this week on the Asable, doing some jigging for walleye as well. But I know for a fact they're down there hard in the Saginaw right now. Big females will be coming up before long, probably in a couple weeks. The really, really big. I know there's already some in there, so please don't argue me on that. But some of the really big females, more and more are going to be coming up as the season progresses. You get closer to March, you get a lot more of them females moving up the river. So it's just a good time. There's a lot of big fish down there. Right now, it's mostly good eater fish, but you get into some really good ones too. So yeah, lots of boats for sure. Yep. Hey Rob, how you doing, buddy? Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yeah, the other bones. I mean, there's bones everywhere, man. They get what they need from there, and actually, they get all the minerals and stuff out of the ground. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know they get, but 4 feet away. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you found both of them, and see, I've never been able to find a set, so that's really cool. Those were big. Thanks, Rick. Thank you. If you guys haven't already, please give this a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Like I said, the ice is dangerous. Do not get out. Stay off if you're in lower Michigan. Just stay off altogether down here in our peninsula. It's just bad. I did help get a guy out of the ice yesterday. I will have a part of that in a video here, probably in a week or two. It's going to be later. I've already got videos backed up, so. Um, Yeah, the reports down there. It's always good, Matt. I always laugh at the guys that say that they can't do good down there because I swear, man, I mean this wholeheartedly. You could hook a cigarette butt down there, drop down on a jig and catch a walleye. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Oh, that's cool, Bill. Thanks for that. That'd probably be fun there. I'm gonna try the 2-inch Apache is what I'm gonna start with, Don, and that's what I'm gonna show off here really soon. I am going to do a patron drawing, Don, and I'm sorry about that. I haven't done one in a couple months. I am going to do one this month. I'm also going to do a drawing. I think I talked about it last week, but I'm going to be doing a drawing here probably this week for a lake trout guided trip out here on Lake Huron or Lake Michigan, depending what you're closer to. He'll do both, I believe, but it's Fish Cop Charters. My buddy Jeff Panich is going to be doing it. So yeah, he donated one to the channel. It's for 3 people and myself. I get to go along and film you guys. So it's going to be a charter for 3 for lake trout in the spring. It's going to be for the first beginning of May, I believe is what he said, first week of May. So yeah, thanks, Ryan. If you guys haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. I'm going to show you guys now the new baits here that we're talking about. Oh, it's definitely cool, man, to find a set. That's very neat. Very neat. For the lake trout trip, Joe, I'm going to have a description in the video, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to post a video on YouTube. It'll be just a short video explaining the trip and everything. All you're going to have to do, though, is like the video, be subscribed to the channel, which I know you guys are, and then I will have it on there that I want you guys to like Fish Cop Charters on Facebook, but I know a lot of you don't have Facebook. So if you can't get on there and do it, don't. But if you are on there, please hop over. Even if you want to do it right now, just to be a good person, hop on to Fish Cop Charters on Facebook and give it a like. Also, they got a website, fishcopcharters.com. So if you want to get on there and check out his information on stuff, go right ahead. I have a video on here. If you go back and watch one of my lake trout videos of me on a charter by myself with my DNR buddy, that's Jeff Panich. And it was a great video. I caught a bunch of big fish. Got my limit, plus he let me catch a couple more to release just for video's sake. So it was really great. It was really a good time. Yeah, I can't really do that though, John. I can't because I mean, if when I film something, especially because I only do it 2 days a week, and I'm fishing every day, so I can't. It's impossible for me to do videos of a day of or a day later. There's no way. I highly doubt that any of the YouTubers out there are doing that. I know for a fact that Michigan Outdoors doesn't even do that. You're getting them after about 2 weeks. So no, it's impossible. It really is. So I get it that other people want the main reason behind this, John. Trust me, I totally know what you're getting at. Is people want to know updated the day of because they know they can get down there and fish that lake if they've seen it and they know the lake. They can go down there that day and do exactly what I did. But you know what? I like the fact that I'm a little later because then I'm ahead of the game. People aren't cleaning it out right after I do a video. So it works out for me and the fish. All right, I want to show you guys a new bait. This just came out, I believe, this weekend. This is the 2-inch Apache. Now, the Apache was one of the micro series. I mean, dinky bait by Freedom Baits. It's a really good bait for using on like a 3mm or 4mm micro tungsten. But what's great is this is their new check that out. 2-inch. Look at that. The thing's got two big old balls for a body, the legs, and then these little legs at the bottom. And trust me, they're just as strong as any of their other things, so they're not just gonna break like you would think they would. So tell me that ain't a cool lure. I am gonna. It's kind of small for walleye to target them, I know, but I'm gonna try it. I will be putting this on one of Widowmaker's new tungsten jigs. They've got regular jig heads made out of tungsten that I'm gonna try tomorrow with one of these on there. They're just a really cool bait, and yeah, I'm ecstatic. And these are going to be good ones, especially for spring and summer panfish. This is the perfect size for big panfish. So I'm really ecstatic to use these this summer and spring. But again, they can on freedombaits.com. You can order them now. You can get them in all the great colors that they have available. And again, that's the 2-inch Apache is what that one's called. And if you're a salmon, steelhead, trout fisherman, right there, those balls that are in there, they already look like eggs to begin with. I guarantee you, if you're drifting for steelhead or salmon, I'm not much of a drifter, but if you put that on there, it would work to look like eggs. You don't even have to tear the legs off or nothing, because natural eggs in the wild usually have some stuff hanging off of them. I guarantee the orange one would work great for steelhead, salmon, trout. So that's it though. The new Apache is what I want to start with tomorrow to try and get some video footage. Yeah, it's okay, Bill. It's okay. I know a lot of people don't, and like I said, it's not going to be a necessity. The main thing, well, I want you to like and comment on the video, because the comments are really how I'm going to be able to pick people. So I I get how things go there, John. I know. Uh, Yeah, wigglers. Yep. I mean, it definitely ain't too small for them. But my main, normally when I'm jigging walleye, if you guys have seen my videos, especially down there, I like to use this is their small. I believe this is the 4-inch. I like to use the 5-inch Barracuda when I'm jigging down in the Saginaw. Any minnow looking bait that you put on your jig and pound the bottom in there is awesome. That's what 90% of those guys are using. Now, I did see that recently a lot of the guides down there in the Saginaw River have been fishing with plastic worms more than anything. So I'm going to try that myself too. If the Apache doesn't work, I'm going to try this. If the Barracuda doesn't cut it, I am going to switch over to the Ring of Fire, which you guys have seen me use, especially for, um, especially for, hey there, Mike, uh, jigging bass and stuff, because this thing here is made to where when it hits the bottom, these rims make bubbles. So this will be my rubber worm that I'll be playing with on the river tomorrow if need be. But I got a feeling that Apache's going to tear it up. So actually, Mike, we are going down there tomorrow. So yeah, that's why I'm talking about the walleye stuff tonight. Me and Rick are planning a trip down tomorrow. I've got my favorite walleye rod here with this is one of the new tungsten. What's great about this, although it looks like a small jig, this is actually a heavy jig because it's made of tungsten. So with tungsten, you can get away with a smaller body profile rather than the big old jig heads like you'd need with lead. So right there is the Widowmaker tungsten jig head that I will be tipping with probably the Apache is what I'm going to be using tomorrow to start with. So antique videos. I I think I did good. I was watching a bunch today actually to kind of get me pumped up for tomorrow. But yeah, same thing though. I mean, when you're rigging any plastic, it's all about putting them on there straight. But look at that right there, guys. I mean, to me, that is awesome. So that is going to be a killer for sure on the walleyes. All I'm going to be doing with this thing is pounding the bottom. You pound it, lift up, and slowly, it's about the drop, really, more than anything. I mean, hitting the bottom's good because it gets their attention. When you jerk up, you slowly drop because those walleyes are coming in and hammering it on that drop. So yeah, tomorrow, little guys, that is what I'm going to start fishing with. I think that right there is going to be a key. I'm really excited to put this new bait and lure to work. So thanks, Rodney. Yeah, they're really great, man. They're really great. Every time Freedom says they're going to come out with a bigger version of their micros, I'm always excited because for summertime I like to go a little bit bigger sometimes. So Hey there, Hooked. White paddle tail with a 1 ounce jig head. I'm sure that would work, but I'm gonna go with what I got. In fact, I always do better personally down there on pink jig heads. I've always done better on pink jig heads than the whites. It's kind of actually what's funny is I usually use pink jig heads and white plastics. So I kind of flip flop what you're saying there, but good old Pimp Daddy, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, thanks, Bill. Yeah, bright colors is what I like to go with. That's kind of a key down there in the because the river is extremely dirty. You can catch fish on dark. Trust me, it's going to work. If you're in the fish's face, you got a chance to catch anything. But I feel like you've got a better chance of catching more fish if you have brighter baits in that dark, dirty water because the fish can see them better. Trust me, fish have bad eyesight in that dirty water. It is really hard for them to see. I've seen it personally on the underwater camera watching them fish. They will dart at baits and totally miss it because they can't see. They will go dart under it, dart above it with their mouths open, just they miss it. So it's better to have a good bright bait, something for them to get a hold of. Now, this right here is the 2-inch Hornet, which is also what used to be a micro series that Freedom Baits made bigger. So this is the 2-inch Hornet. This is also going to be in my bag tomorrow as a backup series in case in case the Apache and the Bonita or Barracuda and the Ring of Fire don't work. But I got a feeling that any of these are going to be fine tomorrow. Like I said, Saginaw River is pretty dummy proof. You could pop a sit butt on a rig and catch fish. But I want to catch a lot of fish, so I'm going to use good stuff. And I really think tomorrow the Apache is going to be killer. So thank you, Joe. Thank you. Yeah, that's one thing I want to say about Freedom, guys. They put the work in to make the baits just special. They've got their own special forms. They're not a rip off of all these other companies. It seems like every company out there is making the same dang things. Yes, there's a lot of split tail minnows in that, but Freedom's. Yeah, jigs are definitely a go-to in any river. When I get a chance, hey John, when I get a chance to, like I said, I might do it this week. Not 100%, but we'll see how the weather is. When I do it, I'm going to go on the Asable River too, because last year I didn't do it. The walleye do come up the Asable, not even close to what they do in the Saginaw. Not even close at all. You'll get a few, but it's not. You can't get yourself a pile like you do in the Saginaw. But we do get some big ones. The Asable River gets some really big walleye. So I think maybe later this week, if I can get a good calm day, even Wednesday. It looks like it'll be a calm day Wednesday. But I'll take the boat out again on the Asable and do some jigging. And again, it's about pounding that bottom, guys. You drop the bait down. What's cool about these new tungsten jigs is they kind of stand up, and the Freedom baits, they've got some floating in them. So when this thing hits the bottom, these legs are actually going to stand up. It ain't going to lay limp like that. These will stand up and look really good. But I'll let it hit bottom, and then I'll give it a jerk up about a foot, just a snap, just enough to get their attention, and then I slowly drop it. It seems like the slower you can get that drop, the better it is, because while you're doing that drop, those fish hit it. A lot of times you won't even feel the bite. You'll see the rod tip go up because they hit it so hard from underneath that it slacks up your line and makes your rod tip go. So really a cool thing though. Yeah, yep. I mean, you can modify any bait. I'm not a fan of modifying. I mean, in my opinion, if you make a good bait, what's the point of cutting it into pieces? You might as well just go with live bait if you're going that route. I don't think it's going to do any good though, Joe. We've only got 3 days, it looks like, below freezing, and they're not even that cold. They're not low. I was hoping for teens and low 20s and stuff like that because as opened up as the water is right now on these lakes, we're going to need some super cold stuff to repair any kind of damage. Everything is damaged right now beyond repair. It really is. We're going to need actual frigid February temperatures, and I don't see that coming at all. The extended looks really sad. So, yep. I'm glad you mentioned that too, Hooked. Thank you. I hope you've been doing good out there. It's definitely a lot of fun. I wish I lived closer because I would fish the heck out of that. I always wish it was in my backyard. But you just mentioned blade bait. I always like to carry a blade bait anymore. When these first came out, I thought they were the dumbest thing ever, right? They're not much, especially some of the real cheaper ones without much color to them. They're just a little thin, heavy metal piece, right? But these things work. They vibrate like crazy, and there's something about them, that, especially walleye, man. They pound these things. So I do have a couple blade baits with me, just in case. But again, I am my biggest thing, guys, and I feel like any of you could do this. You got to keep faith with the lure that you have. If you lose faith in it, then you're going to change up all the time. You might catch a fish, but then you're thinking, oh, I'm probably better on this. Changing's fine and all, but you can do, if you put the faith in the lure and try to learn that lure, work that lure, figure out how to make them hit it the best, that is the best way to get good with it and catch more fish. So that's my plan tomorrow. I think I'm going to be fine with the plastics, but I do have extra lures and baits just in case. So, hey there, Jen. Hey, Mark. Give the pug a hug for me. Oh, it sucks, Joe. It really does. The forecast is horrible. Yep. You see now. It seriously is. It's every single day. I've been watching it like a hawk, and every day they keep bumping the temps up, and I'm like, there really is no winter days now. I'm worried that I'm supposed to still do that Otsego Lake tournament, but I just found out from my friend on the phone, it's opened up. So again, if that lake doesn't get cold enough, which it's not looking good, I don't know. What did I miss, Brad? I missed something. All right, have a good night, Brad, and I hope you feel better tomorrow, man. Sorry, I did not see that. I get going on here, and it's hard for me to keep up. It was nice seeing you guys this weekend, Jen. The side of the kayak, yeah, that is a lot of fun. It's something I wouldn't do though this time of year. I've got some good videos of me actually my favorite catfish video is me getting them off the kayak, but I think it's probably the most dangerous thing you could do right now, especially on the Saginaw River, because a lot of those guys, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but a lot of those guys drive like idiots. They really do. They come flying up the river in the no wake zones. They have no care of. I mean, I've seen kayaks on that river, and they won't even pay attention to you. If you're in a kayak, they fly through nonetheless. Waves busting over you. Yeah, it's no fun. So I'm not going to be doing that for sure. Yep, that's another. Yeah, thanks, Hook. That's a good tip too. Yeah, um, don't leave fish to get fish. Yep. I mean, well, especially with the walleyes. Yeah, I do leave fish to get fish if you're pan fishing, because I find with panfish and perch it is that way, where you can be on a school of small bluegills and that's all you're going to get for a while. Sure, you can wait it out and the big ones will come in eventually, but you're also wasting time. Where if you hole hop, you could find the bigger ones and just be on them and then follow them around. Same thing with the perch. But yes, walleye, if you get on a pod of walleye, stick with them, because that's what you want to find this time of year, especially in that river system, is the pods. My videos that I had on here from like 3 years ago, I didn't have a fish finder. Okay, I was doing it all by ear. I was just kind of randomly digging, and I did good. But now I've got that Helix that I've had for since that year. Really, I think I bought it that same year, and I haven't had a good chance to use it when the walleyes are in. So now we're going to be able to hunt down these pods of fish, and then just sit on them and pound them. So yeah, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good day tomorrow. Yep, going to be a good day. Yeah, that's probably fun. I'm sure that's fun. Blade baits are great for all around for sure. Right, Bill? Right? And I can't blame them for changing the weather, because they obviously didn't do that, but they could at least, if they're going to guesstimate, give us a better idea than what you're doing. But as you can see, guys, I've got my stone tackle box here. This is the Dig and Rat box. Give us a better idea than what you're doing. But as you can see, guys, I've got my stone tackle box here. This is the jig and wrap box I showed you a minute ago. I've got another blade bait on the back side. I also have some extra jigs in here, just some regular, because I don't know if the current's bad enough. My heaviest of the tungstens by Widowmaker might not be enough. It might not. I don't know how the current is. If the current's bad, then I have to go to a heavier jig, so I'll probably use one of my bigger half ounce lead head is probably what I'm going to go to. Half seems to be the main one down there when the current's really bad, but I'm hoping it's going to be decent for us, because honestly, the best that I've done down there is when the current is a little slower. You can keep it nice and vertical. Those are the best days. That's how you do the best, and especially when you can use the smallest things you can get away with. If you can get away with using smaller jigs and jigging wraps and stuff on that river, you're going to catch more fish. Yeah, they do. They change it every day, sometimes twice a day. Sometimes twice a day. Yeah, well, that's another thing too, Rodney. I mean, same thing with the panfish. Really, fish in general. If you watch underwater videos, you'll see what I mean. They are kind of hanging in their age classes. So yes, little bitty fish are going to be hanging with little bitty fish. Even walleye. Okay, if you're getting nothing but a bunch of really really small walleyes, then especially if it's consistent nonstop and you never get anything close to legal, then I'd move. Then I'd go find a whole different pod, because you might be just sitting on a small pod. Um, Other fish are the same way. Bass. You'll see schools of small bass hanging together. You'll see schools of big bass hanging together. That's how it is. The fish, they hang out by their age classes. It's just how pretty much all species are, other than the solitary fish like pike and that. Boat tourney. Oh, God, don't tell me there's one of them tomorrow, Paul. Unless you're saying we should do one. Oh, I got what you're saying on that Seagull. I'm really hoping, man. Like I said, they said there's open water out there today, so I'm not happy about that. We'll see. I'm really hoping that things change, but so far the weather's been staying pretty crappy. So yeah, it's not looking good at all. Another thing I want to mention too. I don't talk about it a whole lot, but rod size. I like to personally use a medium to a medium heavy when I'm fishing for walleye. The reason behind this is walleyes have strong jaws. They have a really strong jaw. In my opinion, their jaw is like a steelhead. Steelhead also have tough jaws. You got to get a good hook set. Now, with a steelhead, you can get a good hook set out of even a whippy rod, because you get that extra, the whip of the rod kind of bends and gives it that extra jerk. But when you're jigging walleye, especially, because when you're in the middle of a drop and that fish hits it, you got to be able to just give a good slam. So I like to use a medium to medium heavy. I don't use a real big rod. For reel, doesn't really matter what reel it is. My favorite reel is actually broken right now. I just messaged the company to see if they would send me an extra reel handle there, because that was missing. It must have fell off last year. But as far as line goes, I like to just use 8-pound test. That's all I use for walleye. On the river, you can get away with using thicker stuff on the river, even braid, because that water's so dirty. The fish are not going to see it. They aren't. Clear water is a different story. When I'm on the Asable River, I would not fish with braid for walleye. I think that would be shooting yourself in the foot, because those fish are definitely a little more finicky when it comes to line. So I don't think brookies, John. Maybe some browns. There might be some browns up that way, because I know there used to be. I fished it when I was a kid, and there was browns. I don't remember brookies, but these are. I showed you guys the one that I got on my rod, but these are the new tungsten jig heads. This is the one I've got on the rod, but as you can see, it's kind of a regular jig head. This is something that Widowmaker came out with, but what's cool is it's not lead. It's made out of tungsten, so it's actually heavier than a lead jig would be. So yeah, steelhead for sure. Thanks, Hooked. Yeah, steelhead get up the rifle. Absolutely. In fact, down by Oh, the Singing Bridge there is actually a really good spot to get into some steelhead. I got a buddy that fishes that quite often, and he took his kid a lot last year even. They were just throwing Mep spinners in there and doing really good, so. But yeah, this week, guys, like I said, I'm going to do, me and Rick tomorrow are heading out for walleye on the Saginaw River, if you didn't hear already. I will say this again, because I don't know how many of you are on here now that weren't on before, but stay off the ice. Ice thickness, even if it's decent, we were on 4 or 5 inches the other day, but it's all honeycombed, which means it's basically a frozen slushy. It's not going to crack on you when you're walking, even if it's bad. You're just going to straight up fall through. I pulled a guy out of the ice yesterday. That'll be in a video coming up probably in another week or so. And it could have been a bad situation, but got him out. And yeah, me and Rick were on some really sketchy ice. So definitely don't recommend it, guys, even if it looks good, even if you drill through and it's, 5, 6 inches, if it's all honeycombed, you can't really trust it that much. You could seriously just fall right through. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. I do have the videos that I've got coming out this week. Let's see, what do I got coming? I think my next video is going to be a trout video. I went and took that, which was just ridiculous. But I've got a coming up for you guys on the ice, as well as a video where me and Rick and Don McLean there, we went up and fished in grayling. So you'll get to see a video of us fishing in grayling together. Where I catch my personal best largemouth that I've ever caught through the ice. So you'll get to see that coming up soon. And then I believe after that, I'm going to have a video tip up fishing big fish on Vinetton Lake and giving a sled ferry ride across the water for Otsego. Yeah, might have to, man. Might have to, because I'm sure we ain't going to be able to get the four-wheelers out the way that it's looking. Oh, geez. That's crazy, Jen. That's crazy. You see that, Rick? Open water where we were. That's nuts. See, so yesterday, we're on the ice. The guy fell through. I helped him out of the ice. Today, that's all open. That's how, even though it was like 4 or 5 inches, that honeycomb ice can go so fast. I mean, it's crap. It's just slush is all it is. It's frozen slush. And again, you can't even get a warning from that stuff. It's not going to crack on you. It just lets loose because all it is slush. It's not really ice. So that's crazy. Yeah, stay off of it. Yeah, absolutely hooked. Yep. It could be. Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, you really don't know. There's air pockets between it. When it comes to honeycombed ice, it's not really ice. It's slush. And the consistency of it changes all over the place. And you'll know it because when you drill through it, it's like butter. Your drill just goes right through. There's nothing to it. So, yeah, it's not good stuff. Northern Minnesota. Killing me, Bill. Killing me. I did see that today Nicole Stone, my friend there, she put out a new video catching crappies. So if you want to see a good crappie video, she just put one out today. That's on Nicole Stone Outdoors here on YouTube. Water is 40 degrees. Wow. Yeah, I mean, things are changing fast, guys. You got to figure between we've got a lot of thawing going on right now, and then the runoff. Every bit of snow that melts, it's running into the water, running onto the ice, melting, and then you got rain, you got wind. Everything kind of eats away. So you've got everything eating away at the top of the ice. You've got the water warming up a little bit under the ice, so that's eating away underneath. It's all adding up to really bad stuff. It really is. Yeah, it's crazy, Rick. Crazy, man. You're hoping to go next weekend? I don't blame you. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm trying to plan. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but I talked to Nicole and I'm gonna try and plan a trip for next November, the end of November for first ice in Minnesota. So I'm gonna start I'm still working on the truck and all that other crap. I've got things to fix, but once I get that stuff straightened out, I'm gonna make myself a jar and I'm gonna start saving up because I'm gonna try and plan a trip for first ice next year to do some ice fishing with Nicole Stone and a couple other friends that are over there in Minnesota and just make some killer walleye, crappie, whatever videos over there. So I think it's gonna be really great, and I'm looking forward to it. It's something I've never done. So, yep, gonna start saving for that. No, we never did, Joe. We never did. We only really had good ice for 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks of ice was it really. After that, it started getting worse every single day. The past week or so, it just kept getting worse. And we never got more than 8 inches. We never did, and that's sad. Usually by now, February, this is our coldest month normally, and it's nothing to have a foot or more right now. I mean, normally we're begging to have thinner ice because drilling through that stuff just sucks. But we don't have it. We just don't. It never got that good, and it's a shame. It really is. I feel like every year it's getting worse. So yeah, get the rowboat out. Yep. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely planning it out, and it's going to be a for sure thing. When I make my mind up on something and I say I'm going to save for it, I'm going to save for it. So as long as the truck holds up, I'm still working on that. So as long as that stays good. The big lakes, yeah. There was people out ice fishing for a while on even last week there was people on Hubbard. So Hubbard Lake did, Fletcher's, even the Great Lake, they were out on Tawas Bay for over a week, about 2 weeks really. When we had that really cold weather, it did do some good. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't even have the ice that we had now. I mean, we wouldn't have got any ice really. When that snow hit, if it wasn't for that real cold front that came in, we wouldn't have nothing. But it's normal though for us to have a cold front like that last throughout the winter. It's very strange that we only had it for a couple weeks. It's not good. It's really not. Now I see the scientists and stuff calling for El Nino or whatever. I call bullcrap myself. I just see they try to say that this is normal and it happens throughout the years, but most of my friends are in their 60s, 70s. None of them have ever seen it in their life. So, and I know our recording abilities throughout the ages has gotten better, but back in the day they were making up a lot of stuff. They didn't really know how things work. Their science wasn't there. So really, I don't think there's any true proof that we've gone through cycles like we are right now. For all we know, this could be new. This could be a change that's going to continue, and if it does, it's really going to mess things up. I mean, we ain't going to get to ice fish. Personally, that crushes me because I love to ice fish. So yeah, I'm jonesing to kind of move to Minnesota now because at least they've got ice for a little longer. And even Minnesota, I want to tell you this too. It's not just Michigan. Ice and winter in general sucks everywhere because Minnesota is even really bad. There's open water on a lot of the lakes in Minnesota. Nicole Stone, she wouldn't be on ice if she wasn't in northern. She's way up there by Canada. So, and even then, they don't have the ice that they should. It's really a shame. Yep. Yep. Absolutely, Bill. Yep. I keep having people throw it at me that it's not, that it definitely, it's happened before and it's going to change, but I don't see that happening, man. I've never heard of it. So, oh, that's cool, Donnie. That's cool. Yep. I've had a few friends that's gone up there, and if I go, that's what I'll do too. I'll be staying at one of those sleeper shacks because I definitely, if I'm driving that far, I ain't leaving the ice. I'm going to go out. I ain't going to fish all the time in the sleeper shack because that always bugs me. I mean, at that point, you're just stuck in one spot. It could be a good spot. If it is, then I'm staying there. But 90% of the time, I see people online that only catch a couple here and there. I'd rather move around, and if I have to, drill my own holes and stuff. But yeah, if anything, though, I'll just sleep in the shack. It should be fun. Absolutely, Nikki. Yep. Thank you for that second. I appreciate that. I really do, because like I said, I've had some people try to tell me that the people that have been trying to tell me are younger too, and it's like you don't know. I talk to legit older people that will straight up tell me that it just hasn't happened. Yep. And yeah, that's 60 years, man. It's same thing. Water does go up, water comes down, but the weather, warmth, cold, no, it hasn't changed this much. Ah, that is a shame, Hooked. That is a shame. I know the Asable's doing pretty good right now on the steelhead because my buddy Gene, Captain Gene, he's been getting people out there on them, and he's doing all right. Now, me and Rick did go down and try to fish Vanetton Dam last week because usually the perch are in there, which they are, but they were schools of babies. Trust me, it ain't worth it. It ain't even going to be a video. But the steelhead are usually up there at the dam, and they weren't. You'll know when they're up there because they just randomly jump and stuff in the hole. There was nothing going on. So, yep. I don't. I think things are just getting messed up this year with the temps and everything. Yeah, absolutely, Donnie, and I hate that, man. I own so much for ice fishing stuff, and at that point, nobody's gonna buy it either. So at that point, there ain't gonna be a market. It's I don't know. I'm really hoping that this stuff changes because it's not good. One of my older friends years ago told me, and I really don't believe this. At least I don't want to. But he told me that eventually our climates are going to shift where Florida is going to get what we get, and we're going to get what Florida gets. Now, I hope that ain't it because if it is, I'm moving to Tennessee or Louisiana or something. I ain't dealing with that stuff. But I don't know. I just have a hard time. But I guess nobody knows. Even the scientists that try to come up with it, they're just making guesses. That's all. That's all science really is. They got to make guesses, and I get that they're trying, but man, nobody knows. Nobody knows. So, well, I definitely wouldn't come up to ice fish. That's for sure. Markham VX7. I mean, I wouldn't mind catching gators through the ice. I ain't gonna say that ain't fun, but it ain't nothing I want to do. Right? I don't remember the name of the show, Nikki, but up north they did that. It was a Canadian show of some kind, but there was lakes that froze over, and that's what they did. They would float out and freeze their boats in, and to me, that's the life, man. If I could do that, honestly, if I would move. If I could get myself a houseboat and just freeze in the winters and live that way, I'm game, man. I'd be down for it. Yeah, pretty much, John. Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, there was actually, Lance. Yep, there was. Surprisingly, there was still ice for that. In fact, we found out that they were still fishing the reef that week, which is, if you ever been to the reef, that's a hike out there. I think it's a mile and a quarter out to the reef. So I'm sure it's not good now, but exactly, Nikki. Yep. That's why I think you just get headaches if you try to think of the stuff. So, we're in the moment. Live in the moment that you're in right now because tomorrow you don't know what it's going to be. You don't know what it's going to do. Make the days the best that you can because we just don't know what's coming. We really don't. So, yeah, don't fret on things that you can't control. That's truth right there. Oh yeah, yep. I'm sure of that. I think that's how he's better video. I think I'm more excited about that tomorrow than anything else is just making a better video because to me there's not very many good quality Saginaw videos out there, so I'd really like to put the time and effort in tomorrow to get a good one on there. So, oh, the MX7, okay. On Gull Lake, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. The Gull Lake has some monster smelt. I've seen the pictures. There's actually some huge crappies in there too for the people that didn't know. I'm talking 16, 17 inches. I haven't got into them, but I've seen them personally from people that caught them. So Gull Lake is definitely a destination, but it's one of Michigan's smelt lakes, one of the few, and yeah, there's some giant smelt in that lake, which that's what I'm about. I don't like catching small smelt, and that's something too that I want to say. Normally, I do a smelt video each year, but with the ice the way it is, smelt fishing gets the best in beginning of March. It's not looking good. I don't think I'm going to get a smelt video. My favorite smelt spot has flowing water, and I do not think that I'm going to have a chance this year. So, yeah, it's I just There's nothing I can do. It's out of my hands. I really was hoping for better quality ice fishing videos this season, but I just don't see it happening. And it sucks because I got a new shanty for it all. I got new dog coats, the dog bed, I've got a new underwater camera that I swapped for my other one, so it's better. I mean, I was ready and set to go, but it's just not looking good this year, guys. I didn't like the ones on Higgins, Donnie. They're small. They are very small. They average small. I even got them on camera on Higgins. I had the camera down on them, and yeah, they're really small. Yeah, yeah. It's not looking good. Nope, I don't think so at all, man. A lot of the big places that we like to fish, I think, are done for the season. So, yep, it's really a shame, but I'm gonna try and make the best of everything that I can. Like I said, losing ice fast, so ice fishing's about out of the picture. So I'm gonna have to swap things up. I will probably do a squirrel hunting video coming up, as well as some shed hunts. I'll take out the monster here for some shed hunts, and yeah, just try to do what I do. If you've watched LT Outdoors long enough, you know that as the seasons change, I change. I do whatever the seasons bring me, whether it's asparagus picking, metal detecting. If you follow that channel, it's a whole new channel now. Hunting, trapping, all that stuff. I will be trapping soon. That's a guarantee. Beaver trapping's on the way. Probably sooner than I expected, honestly, because I wasn't gonna till the beginning of March. But if it keeps this crap up the way it is right now, I might be beaver trapping in a week or so. Who knows? So yeah, I want you guys to stay, focused on the channel. I appreciate everybody that follows it because I do have a lot more things to bring. It should be good. Pike, perch, crappie, gills, smelt. I want to fish down there for sure. Yeah, yep. The Higgins smelt, man, they literally average 3 to 4 inches. It's horrible. I mean, if I eat smelt, I want good smelt. I want them like averaging around 8 inches. I want a meal, those. And where my last my last video with the smelt, I did catch a lot of big ones, but I was not on Higgins. I told a lot of people I was on Higgins, but I was not on Higgins. I did not mention that in the video because I'm not going to lie to you guys like that. But when people ask me where I'm at and I don't want them to know, I will send them on a goose chase. That's how I am. Rats are horrible, Rodney. Rats are not even worth going for. They are maxed out at $2.50. So, yep, I'm not even gonna attempt any more of that myself. Next season, it's 8 o'clock now, so I'm gonna hop off. But I want to tell you guys, as far as trapping, for those of you that like to follow me for that, if the fur prices stay as bad as they are right now, I'm putting away my water gear for next season, and I'm going to focus on upland. I'm going to do coyotes, skunks, coons, fox, badger, stuff like that. So it'll be a whole different experience. That's what I'm looking at next year. So if the prices stay as bad as they are, you'll still get some random beaver ones in when people call me with a problem. But other than that, I will do dry dirt trapping next year to just switch things up and show you some new stuff. But again, thanks everybody that came on here tonight. Sorry, Taylor, if I messed up your engagement. I don't know what's going on that end. But thanks again, everybody. I love y'all. I will chat with you next Sunday, and stay tuned. I got a walleye video on the way.